start with a quick opening
Yeah,
statement?
I'll give BC's credit, especially their defensive line. We had a couple chances in the first half, didn't capitalize. Obviously, I thought the big play was, Shane made a good play on the interception, and we had a little momentum, and Ross turned the ball over on third down. Come out of there with no points. It's 2 times we've gotten good field position this year. We've turned the ball over, so that's well, we didn't get anything out of the one in Florida, but our guys were nervous coming out. They jumped off sides, and I don't know. We didn't do that at Florida's where you expected it, so it looked like a first game. So we had to kind of settle down, but we never could get the run game going. Our defense played hard and had a little bit of the field possession game, and we got beat one-on-ones on the deep throws, and coverage is there. And credit BC, a guy made a good throw. They made the catches right over the top of us. So and then when they got the lead, we just didn't do anything with it. The second half, the first drive of the second half, we had a chance and had a mental error up front that cost us, and so they were just better today.
How much did not being able to control the interior there affect what you want to do, whether it's not being able to run the ball, Ross kind of having to kind of swallow the ball in a couple sacks?
Yeah, I think that their O-line and their D-line were better than ours. I mean, Tolles had all day to throw, and we didn't, and couldn't run the ball, so that was disappointing, but we just get back to work for next week.
Was that something that you guys thought you had a game plan for coming in, or did?
Well, you got to stay balanced, especially against BC's defense. Their secondaries, they got a bunch of guys and they rush the passer. Landry makes a difference for them, and Zach Allen played better than he had. Grew up a little bit. I thought he was in there, and they had a good scheme. Jimmy did a good job, and field position. So you got to take your shots, and we had the one. I thought we had a chance on a go ball and just dropped it, went through our hands, and they didn't drop the deep one. So. But they were better up front.
Whip, last week you had been a little frustrated at Ross on some of the sacks. Was this week the same mistakes, or was it different things leading to him being sacked?
The one before the half was really the same thing. When we was third down and 4, and he tried to go for the deep ball, and I said that's not the time to do it. We got to have him running across open, trying to get field position and move it out. Don't put your defense. We're in a good game. That was disappointing, and certainly the one before the half. I mean, we talked about it. The third down play was, we got a field goal here, so we go in with a little momentum, and so those are too big, and then he just loses his mind a little bit on the third interception. If we lose the turnover game by 2, we don't have a shot to win against these people, against teams that are Power 5. There's just that's not going to happen. So, but I thought our kids battled hard, and he competed, and then you got to be smart. Want to get guys banged up, him taking some shots, and. We did a good job on the down the ball at the 1. We had a shot coming back out of there and just didn't do anything with it.
Were you disappointed with his overall play today? It looked like he struggled.
I'll give the old adage, I'll look at the tape, but yeah, I mean, he lost the game. I mean, as a quarterback, you don't like to lose. He only got 2 touchdowns in 2 games, and a lot has to do with the people who are playing. Their numbers speak for themselves. And they got better as the game went on. That's what was disappointing. I think before the half gave them a lot more confidence, and they could pin their ears back. And we lost some one-on-one matchups up front. But I'm disappointed in today, but I'm not disappointed in what we have for the rest of the year. So we'll get back to work tomorrow.
Was some of keeping him in there the idea of learning and trying to grow with live plays?
Yeah, somewhat that way. I mean, the big call, I thought, he scrambled out on the 1 third down, and we got a holding call. Our only holding call was when we had a 15-yard gain on a first down, so it's just one of that happens in football. So he made a good play there. Made a good play in a scramble on a touchdown to Adam. But we got to run the ball better, on these type of games. It's not like. But I'm happy with the overall team. We can fix those things on offense. I'm not as concerned about that.
Mark, as well as your defense was playing early, containing Hillman, how frustrating was that first deep ball that it kind of got them going?
It's frustrating because we practiced it, so I don't know how many times. I mean, the corners missed probably an interception on our sideline, and those 2 were throws that, and they made good throws. They made a play. It's, we talk about it when you get into one-on-one situations. Guys got to make a play. Corners are on an island, quarterback's there, so their guys made the catch. And the first one, the second was probably a little bit more, but, I think that given the time he had, that makes it a little little easier. But, you know, they had a good plan, and, you know, they executed, and we did.
What positives can you take out of this game? And also, can you comment a little bit on the play of the kid Allen? I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, well, he gave up the one ball, you know, and he had one in his hands on the sideline. But he's competing. You know, he's young, he's a sophomore, and the other guy's a freshman that we got out there. Take away, it's been a good. This week was finally felt like I was back at UMass practicing football the way we used to be able to practice. So we're much more competitive Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday than we ever been. And we have more players, and the young guys are giving good looks in scout team or special teams. The punt thing has been much better. So those are the things I take with it. Yeah, we want to, there's no question we want to win the game, but there's a process. So the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was the best week that we've had physically, mentally since I've been here. And I think that carried over to the game. Now we just got to eliminate the mistakes and be smarter in our play, and that comes with experience. That's just part of the deal.
Coach, we saw that sequence when Shane had that interception right before the end of the half. It was 3rd and 9 from the BC 19 there. Just what did you say to Ross when you guys took the timeout? What was your game plan going into that down? Because
that's why I took a timeout. But he must have had the headphones on because he didn't listen. You know, we just said, hey, we're going to take a shot here. I think they're going to come blitz. What's they're going to do? They're going to be aggressive. You don't have the guy. Izzy went inside and he's trying to make a play, and those are the times you got to say, I got to get rid of it, and you can't lose the ball. So we got 3 points here. We're going 13-10. We're all right. And, you know, that's a lesson to be learned. Those things are you know, as I said, he's been able to do those things in high school and all the way in running, but certain times you got to know the situation, and that's why I called the timeout. But you know, we'll learn from it.
Do you think being able to change up the snap count made any difference for you guys today without the loud crowd noise?
You know, we used a couple double cadences, but it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know why we jumped off sides the first 3 plays. I don't have any idea. There wasn't any noise then, so I just say they were nervous, which was an important game, but all of them are. So I don't think that was really that much. At the end was more. We had to shuffle a couple guys around, and they had a good plan, and we missed a couple things up front. The back was not just everybody wants to put the line. It was the quarterback kind of hot. It was the back. It was the line. So all of them, we got to get better in that phase.
The defense has kept you in the game back to back into the fourth quarter. Can you live with kind of the growing pains you're talking about with Ross, where he's got to work out this? You said
he's sophomore. Yeah, he's the best guy we got. So, you know, competes, and you know, the other guys got to help him around. You know, we got to run the ball better. You know, we can't. Marquis said, you know, he's had a couple things, but he hasn't. You know, I think he has the quality that Florida and BC's defense. You know, they run their second level run really well. I'm hoping, you know, the next couple of weeks they don't run quite as well.